This podcast is sponsored by Relevant. It's a new iOS app to consolidate the media you want to see in a place you control. With Relevant, you stay up to date with things you're actually interested in. You tell Relevant what's relevant to you, and you'll be given all the content you love from all across the internet, all in one place. It's available on iOS devices and coming soon to Android. Be the first to know with Relevant.
Just want to make sure I'm out. All right,
Chandler, turn around and give me a clap.
Let me know when we're just about.
Back at the Poorly Edited Podcast here on WXLV DX live at L-Tri-C. That stands for Lehigh Carbon County Community College.
The Levi Gene Factory.
So we're live.
We got relocated.
Are we?
Yeah, the Levi Gene Factory.
This podcast isn't sponsored, but no.
Nah.
Nope, we're not allowed to talk about sponsors.
We don't have that gene money yet.
It's in my genes.
Right now we are the Poorly Edited Podcast, so you probably don't know who we are or what we're doing here. And Chandler,
that's okay.
Break down why we're here, and then we'll do introductions.
Well, I guess we're a podcast. We're a show that we like to come on here and talk about creative things, creative people, and have a platform to just, give people to plug their cool stuff they have going on and talk about all kinds of exciting things.
What cool person do we have on today?
Yeah, who's up right now?
Well, today the cool person is Keenan Crosland, right?
Yeah, I met that guy. I don't think he's that cool, really.
Oh, should we not have him on?
No.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, canceled.
You're not cool if I don't know who you are.
Storm, you haven't known the majority of our guests.
Exactly, so they're not cool. So let's go around and introduce our hosts that are here, sadly, every week, all of us.
Sadly.
Jeez, you're sad today.
Yeah, well.
Sad boy.
No, so these are the people that are here every week. So I'm Storm Hutchinson. I'm one of the hosts here. Right next to me we have.
My name is Coffee Guy.
And you probably don't understand that and why that is, but we're not going to explain it to you again. So our other host.
I'm pretty upset because I usually get second billing and I just got dropped down to third.
Those days are long gone.
Yeah, I'm feeling a quick firing soon. But I'm Chandler Davis.
And our technical guru and our other host,
Patrick Lilly.
So here on the Poorly Edited Podcast, we like to start off with what we're doing creatively in the last week. And recently, nothing has been done creatively in this group of gentlemen.
No, you just made a new vlog 5 minutes ago.
That's true. I saw it.
That's true.
It's up on YouTube.
So we'll go over that in a minute. Why don't we start with Patrick? What's some of the creative stuff you're going on right now?
Not much. We got board game play test coming up. Me and Chandler.
Yeah.
That's going.
Is it still for children?
No, we're trying to avoid the children part.
Pat's making me do work for it.
I gave you one thing to do over a 2-day span. That'll probably take you like 30 minutes. Other than that, though, I built a computer this weekend, so that was pretty fun.
I wanted to bring that up. Exciting. How did that go? Did your power supply explode?
No, I was fine on power supply. It was actually the case. It was too small.
Really? Oh, for your graphics card.
My motherboard.
Just
really?
For everything.
I had a mini tower.
Why'd you do that?
Because I'm stupid.
Okay.
But no, I like assembled my motherboard and put everything on there, and I was about to put it in. I'm like, this is way too small. Then I ordered another case. And
you don't need a case. You could have just had it sitting there for a little while.
I really didn't want to fry my motherboard and waste all that money.
Just set it on carpet. Make sure.
Yeah,
and then rub it back and forth.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's good.
And then, so I built it, and then went to turn it on after like 4 hours of building for some reason. I don't know why it took that long.
My 2 builds have taken all day, so I don't feel bad.
Yeah, same.
I turned it on, and an LED flashed, and then it just turned off.
Nice.
So,
that sounds like what would happen if I did.
Yeah,
that's how you pass post.
All right, so next up we have Chandler Davis.
Well, I can't really think of anything I'm doing right now other than working on this show. But I just got an Akai MIDI from a friend of mine for a pretty discounted price.
What is that?
Well, it's like when you're making digital music, you can use a MIDI with a
What is it? What does it look like?
Yeah, for people who don't know what that is.
It's like a piano. It's like a little section of a piano. It has piano keys, drum pads, knobs, various knobs for things like panning and volume and things like that you can program into the software that you're using for music to, have it's just like a nice tool belt kind of at your disposal.
So how much did you get it for?
75, which is normally 100. So
yeah, you got a good one, pretty cheap.
I'm hyped to start using it this week.
Coffee guy.
I came very close to actually doing something this weekend. I came very close to putting something out. And then I watched all of Stranger Things 2 instead.
Right. That's good.
You probably had more fun doing that anyways.
I don't know. I really wanted to put something out finally because I made a YouTube channel and then talked about it and then didn't do anything.
Yeah, but don't discredit yourself. You've been working hard on other stuff too.
Thank you.
You guys need to take a day off.
You guys need to love yourselves.
Statistically, if you don't take a day off, it's bad for your body.
No, yeah, it really is. Like
it's unhealthy.
I know.
I'm looking at you, Chandler. When's the last time you took a day off?
I've been trying lately.
Yeah, but trying is not doing.
Wow.
No, I think I successfully took maybe while I was sick. I don't know if that counts.
You weren't really sick.
No.
What?
Remember when you called off work?
Okay, well that time
the flu, though, like last week.
Okay, that time. I guess I took a day off that time.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I did nothing.
And you've been better this week.
You think?
This past week, yes.
Oh, thank you.
You're getting better, but you still look. Well, you look fine. You sound tired.
Well, I always look sick.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring that up.
I mean, well, think about it, Chandler. Like you a month ago, you were grumpy all the time because you weren't getting enough sleep. Now you're actually sleeping. You're taking days off.
I guess you're right.
Yeah, you're living a healthier life.
Aww.
A functioning
and you
member
seem
of
happier.
society.
Are you happier?
Actually, no.
That's okay. All right, that's fine. At least that unhappiness will last longer now.
Unrelated.
Yeah. Anyways, let's just being positive.
I'm at a 10 on the reversed scale of self-esteem.
Anyway. My YouTube channel, Storm the Intern, and I actually just put out 2 videos.
2?
Yeah, one was the wrong video.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Cool.
Did you take that down then?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, might as well, right?
Stings,
It's already
right?
up there.
I just kept it up. Yeah, I actually edited a video. Has Dan Chua in it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty bad, but
What's it about? Why should I watch it?
It's about Dan. All about
doesn't
Dan.
have any purpose.
Okay.
I think it's
sold.
50 seconds long.
It's a biography of Dan's life. Visual biography.
It's just him doing high kicks.
Yeah.
It's a video.
Well, what else is there?
Yeah, that's it. That was really the whole video.
Go check out that video with Dan Chua on his channel and also our show that we did with him.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Speaking of which, he wrote
Unlike what this one's going to be.
Not a paper. Sorry. He wrote an article for the school newspaper, and that's coming out soon.
For us.
About us. Not just in general.
Oh, one quick thing I forgot to say once again. Who was that intro by?
Oh,
Madison Hughes.
Yeah, I told her we'd plug her every time, so.
that's good.
Anyway.
I don't like this time slot. We're all dead.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
No, it's
now.
fine. It's fine. That's why I drink more
It's too late in the
caffeine.
day.
I upgraded Monsters. I used to drink the normal size cans, and now I get the gasoline canister
I hear that's healthier.
Yeah,
liquid
that looks
nitrogen.
healthier.
Yeah, no, it isn't.
Really? Like when you opened it earlier and there was smoke coming out. That was
Yeah,
my
that's how
favorite
you
part.
know whatever you're drinking is good.
Well, I think we're calmer because now we're like World War I veterans. This doesn't phase us anymore.
I think if we were World War I veterans, we would not be this stable.
You are drinking gasoline.
Yeah, well.
Did they do that in World War I?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they survived in the trenches. Yeah. We all know how that went.
All right, so let's get to the interesting part of the show. Keenan something. I don't know your last name, Keenan.
Wow. You're
So,
not prepared.
I want to know, Keenan, like, why are you on the show? What is your purpose?
What do you have doing?
Wow,
what do you have going on?
Well, I was in a basement for like 2 years and then unlocked, and he's like, hey, what are you doing down here? And
I could smell him from
it's true. It's very true.
from the ground level. I'm like, that's not right.
But that's okay because, when you're stuck in a basement, you don't time to clean up or anything. So
That's good.
Okay, so this is about being creative here and not stinking. So why
What's the difference?
My content stinks.
That was terrible.
Good
All
vision.
right.
I gave myself a strike for that one.
Thanks.
Okay, Keenan, tell us creatively why are you on the
You're
show?
doing something cool, right?
Yeah, right now I'm actually doing something that I created back in 2001. I decided to animate it myself after animating another project.
So you're an animator.
Kind of. I had to teach myself how to animate. I didn't go to college for it.
That still makes you an animator, right?
Yeah, if
What?
You don't have to learn how to run to be a runner.
True.
that's a much shorter learning span there.
Yeah, because I
They
mean,
literally teach children.
That was a bad example. I take it back.
So Keenan, I don't know. I know absolutely nothing about animating. Once I animated 4 pictures in Photoshop.
Right.
That's all I did. So let's start off with. Are we there yet? Okay, no, we're not. But
you
we're
don't
gonna
have to.
Well,
how did you start animating? Like, what got you into it, and then how did you start learning?
Well,
And what programs?
Okay. Well, I used to just basically draw concept designs all the time and write scripts. And it's best to have a product and you're in full control when you animate. So what I did was I used the Photoshop timeline, which I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
you're
that's what I was
familiar
talking about.
Right. So I kind of did animation with like a South Park style, basically, where I would just have like pieces and then you animate the pieces.
Cool. How do you learn? You said back in 2001?
No, 2001 is when I created the characters I'm animating now.
Okay, so I'm assuming you learned off YouTube?
Kind of. I just needed to know where the timeline was because somebody told me about it, and then how to cut, which is just the scissors. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
So basically, it makes a copy. So say if you have like the arm is like placed here, and that's like arm left copy 1, then you just cut it, and then you move it, the arm, and then that's another copy. So it kind of like fades. So each copy fades into the timeline.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
So I know nothing about this. Is this like frame by frame animation, and then you just?
In a way, yeah, kind of.
Okay.
What do you mean by kind of? Tell us more.
'Cause it's not frame, but it's not like drawn, like hand drawn. The pieces are hand drawn because I would draw it on cardstock and then I scan it and then I digitally color it. And then I have all the different pieces. Then you just drag them in.
Oh, wow. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. Thank you.
How long is the project you're working on right now?
Right now, this one I started doing around like July. I started drawing the pieces, and then in September I started to do audio for it.
How long will it be from how long does it run? Because I think what Storm was asking.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
how
I'm
long?
thinking.
How long would it
Like,
run?
will it be until it's finished?
No, I mean,
no. Like
The
the.
runtime of the movie.
Yeah.
there
Oh
we go.
God. Well, I kind of learned with because the short I have now is Pongu Ground Zero, and that's like 8 minutes and 16 seconds, and you kind of learn that people kind of fade out when it's so long. So I decided to make 3 shorts, and they're each like maybe around a minute or 2 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Pretty
Sing
cool.
one of them, so.
Yeah, I have. They're cool. Or I saw the 8-minute, 16-second one, which was really funny.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Well,
How much time do we have in this
that was-
segment, Pat?
Got like 4 more minutes.
4 more minutes.
Oh, you want to hear a funny story about that?
yes.
About what?
Well, it's not really funny.
About how much time we have left?
No. There's nothing funny about that.
Very serious.
Yeah, but yeah.
Fill it up, boys!
All right. I had an IMDb page. Well, somebody made it. That was a special thanks. On
Yeah,
the
I wanted to
project.
bring that up because there's some interesting stuff in there.
Yeah, but well, my IMDb page existed before that, but the one for Pongu, like one of the special thanks people was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a page without my permission." But because of that, like I don't know if you go on YouTube, if they have like full movies that aren't full movies, it's like somebody wants you to click away and
Right,
go
yeah.
somewhere else. So there are 2 of those that exist with Pongu Ground Zero, and they have a picture of Dr. Ken. So if you're going to see the short, the one with Dr. Ken isn't the real thing. You have to go to the animated clip. So
Are you talking about the sitcom?
yeah, you know Dr. Ken,
Yeah.
Ken Jeong.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody just took a picture of Ken Jeong because like I retweeted him around that time, and then they put that as the screen cap. And then when you go on it, I don't know if I'm allowed to say any of this other stuff, but like it doesn't have the short itself. It has like the Motion Picture of America kind of thinks it's like PG-13 or
Yeah.
whatever, but it has like.
Are you
I don't know if I can say this.
no, just don't. If you're not sure, then don't.
No.
If you're not,
Well, let's just say that they have a little. they have like a little symbol there that isn't PG or PG-13. It's actually something else. I'll tell you later.
So basically, somebody tried to like clickbait you onto a video, or clickbait the populace onto a video,
right,
by taking something you made and putting
and then it says full movie, and it says like 1 hour and 36 minutes. It's like, no, that's not even close. It's like 8 minutes.
That's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
I'd find that pretty flattering that somebody tried to clickbait your content for their gain, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess. I don't know. Well, happy about it.
You know you've made it if someone's trying to like springboard themselves off of you.
Yeah.
That's us.
Is that us?
No, not at all.
No, that's definitely us.
We're just trying to springboard ourselves, and it's not working.
Failing miserably.
Yeah, it's like a diving board trying to jump off its own diving board.
What?
Exactly. That's what.
It's a paradox.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like you're like that. You can't, and that's what. Never mind. We need to go into the break.
Yeah, we're gonna go into a break. So we'll be right back after this.
Every day, we move in and out of each other's busy lives. It's easy to take for granted.
Can't say that. Can't say that. Good call. Some are good. Others not so much.
Oh wait, we're back already.
And we are back here at the Poorly Edited Podcast. We're gonna get right back into Keenan and his current and past projects. So first, what are some other projects you've worked on in the past? Maybe your own projects, other people's projects, that kind of stuff.
Okay. You mean like anything that was like on the page for IMDb or any like production?
Just in general,
system?
like,
Anything, like have you helped others or?
Well, I did back in 2008. I was a production assistant for Forensic Files, and I got laid off right before I got canceled.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's Forensics Files?
Okay. Forensic Files is basically a show on True TV that had reenactments of basically real life crimes.
Oh,
so they had
sweet.
forensic detectives, and they would go over and they'd say like, this crime this week. Sorry, I'm gonna keep. There were 2 episodes that I'm not gonna talk about right now because it's kind of we're going to
because it's crime. I mean, generally that would range into the
usually some dark stuff in
the dark
crime.
waters. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I actually have watched that show. What did you do for it?
Wait, how many seasons?
Oh, you said you're a PA. Never mind.
Yeah.
How many seasons?
I think it was like 13 or 14 seasons.
It went on for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what a PA is. Can you explain to me? Because that's really interesting. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, production assistant has different like jobs, and it's basically like sometimes you take orders for, say, like the reenactment actors, or you'd have to like help paint a set or put a set together. Because it was basically like some of the stuff was in a warehouse. Sometimes you'd film on location at like a club. I'm just gonna say a club. But we would have to build like little sets, like little Barbie houses. So.
Sweet. How long did you work on it?
From late August 2008 till mid October 2008. So it was only 5 episodes.
Oh,
wait. So where was that located? Like, where were you working out of?
That one, I always took a bus there, but it's around. Do you know where the Amazon warehouse is?
no.
But it's like local, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know they filmed out here. Like the whole show films out here, or is it just?
It did. It was in a warehouse.
Oh
and
yeah, before it got
sometimes
canceled.
Right.
I didn't know they filmed in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. That's weird.
They did like 1 episode in Florida though, so it just depends. But most of it was PA.
I did not know
PA
that.
and PA.
That's pretty exciting. Talking about things that are being filmed around here.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Some pretty exciking stuff.
You know what I heard? I heard about. Well, okay. I'm sorry. You go on. I just remembered.
M. Night Shyamalan.
What was that?
M. Night Shyamalan.
You're close.
Shyamalan.
Are you joking?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Shyamalama. It's like llama. Shyamalan.
I'm so glad I let you take the segue back.
So he has a movie that is in the same universe as his first big hit,
Unbreakable, and now the new Split. What?
I really wanted to say it was in the universe of Split. I was really excited to say that.
You can still say it. Say it.
It's in the universe of Split, kind of.
That was good. I like that.
I would say Unbreakable established this universe much more than Split did.
Yeah, they said that Split was split off.
Well, Split establishes a new villain in the. Well, it wasn't a universe until Split was essentially the sequel to his earlier Unbreakable film.
Can I add in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Originally, Split, basically, the character is called the Horde, right? He has multiple personality disorder. And originally he was in the third act of Unbreakable, and they actually kind of dropped that.
Oh, cool. So, they dropped the third act.
So they were going to do a sequel back in, but the movie wasn't really, Unbreakable wasn't as successful at first.
Yeah.
And then it did well on DVD.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, actually, well, the villain in the third act of Unbreakable, the guy who
Don't
kidnaps
spoil it.
those...
Don't spoil it.
Okay, whatever.
I'm going to watch it tonight.
Isn't that a really old movie?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, not really old, but
I think it was around 2001 or 2002.
It was 2001, yeah.
But the criminal essentially that Bruce Willis goes up against later in the film was supposed to be the Horde James McAvoy character from Split, but there wasn't enough time to really flesh that character out as much as he wanted to, so he kind of put it on the back burner and now finally made Split. He said that I've seen him talk about this film that's filming right now in Allentown, right?
It's Allentown.
Yeah. At the State Hospital, I think, was the last place.
Yep.
Yeah. I've heard him say that this film's like, 15 years in the making or something like that, he keeps saying.
Yeah. Well, because they were going to do a sequel, and then they kind of just, he went on and did The Village, and then he did Lady in the Water, and then after Lady in the Water, he did The Happening. Sorry, everyone started screaming. And then he did Last Airbender, and that was supposed to become like a franchise.
Yeah,
that did not pan out.
Was that him?
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
I have a terrible relationship with M. Night Shyamalan.
A terrible personal relationship?
Yeah, personal relationship. My first experience with M. Night Shyamalan was I was going to the movies, my godmother, and we're like, let's go see Avatar. We spent money on Avatar.
Ooh.
He stole my money.
Personally.
And I will never experience M. Night Shyamalan again.
And he totally disrespected the source material.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Avatar The Last Airbender was lit.
Yeah, it was. It was really fun. And
Really
like, how
great.
can you like just murder it completely?
Yeah.
Like, when I say murder, like,
Oh, yeah,
it
just trashed.
Yeah, it got 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. We can say something?
It was probably the dump truck full of money that he got for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he make a lot of money on that?
I don't know. I'm just assuming.
Yeah. I'm sure it didn't cost a whole lot to make because it was so poorly done.
Poorly edited.
Yeah.
But you know what? One movie that kind of gets like crapped on, but I actually do like it, was Lady in the Water. Is like his.
Oh yeah,
film.
yeah. I've seen that. It
has like a lot of. I mean, it's meant to be comedy at points. Like it's kind of like the fine line between is it comedy or is it unintentional comedy? But it is an enjoyable film. I think.
Yeah. I don't know. M. Night Shyamalan is so interesting to me because we have like these directors that certain directors get their names on the boxes. Like who did Batman?
Which one, Tim Burton?
Christopher Nolan?
Yeah, Christopher Nolan. Like whenever you see Christopher Nolan on a movie, you're gonna you're gonna like it. He did Dunkirk, right?
Yeah.
He did.
Like
That was really good.
Yeah, and that was incredible. I knew going into that movie it was gonna be amazing. And then with M. Night Shyamalan, you see it on the thing, and you're like, no idea what I'm gonna get out of this. He did After Earth too.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
He hasn't been doing so good.
No, he has not been doing so
Didn't he
good.
do The Happening too with with Mark Wahlberg?
That was something.
James Wahlberg.
James.
Marky Mark.
Dr.
Franco.
Wahlberg to you. But Glass is filming in Allentown. I've been hearing
It's called Glass?
it's called Glass
Okay.
because spoiler alert, there's a returning character from the original Unbreakable, and I think it's gonna be the origin story or something to that effect of that character. I don't know.
I have an issue already. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure glass is breakable.
Well, it's not about what?
That's a strike for you.
Did you see the movie? You guys all need to watch Unbreakable. It's
That's
good.
a strike.
I would
Gotta
say
make
if
that
you're
clear.
gonna watch anything from this current universe that he's generating, I would say watch Unbreakable. You can skip Split if you want. I think Split was a good movie, but it wasn't like, it wasn't amazing. Like you don't have to see it. I think you might benefit from seeing it if you want to understand what's going on with what he's doing, but whatever.
I think it was an improvement on some of the other films, though. Like,
Yeah.
cause
Yeah, that
he,
doesn't take a whole lot though.
He did The Visit also. The Visit was like, did you see The Visit at all?
Was that the one
No.
where he went out to San Francisco?
What?
Never mind.
No, it was just like these kids go to visit their grandparents that they never met.
Oh, and
yeah.
they stick him in
And
the
that was all
oven
I
or
was gonna
something.
say.
He
I don't
did
wanna ruin
that. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin it in case
That's like
anybody
a
wants to-
terrible Get Out.
I did not know he did that.
You guys see Get Out?
Yeah, it was a great
Yeah.
film.
Man, that was fun.
Shout out to Jordan Peele who
Yeah, sure
directed
he's
that
listening.
film,
Yeah.
which is insane. Like to see him go from like Key and Peele and the stuff he's doing there to like directing a film like Get Out was just great.
So funny, so good. It was funny. Did you not think it was funny?
In the good way, not in the hokey like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was like in the It way.
Oh, I love that one. Did you guys see it?
No.
Yeah.
This is true.
This is like the fourth time we're mentioning it.
We want to talk about it, Keenan,
this
but
podcast
we
has been
can't.
sponsored by it. No, I'm just
We've gone over this so many times. I've made the same gag of him coming out of the water so many times.
Yeah.
And every time it's a visual gag that anyone listening can't hear.
Yeah.
So.
Did you guys see Happy Death Day at all? Or?
No, thankfully.
That looked really bad.
It was actually okay.
I heard it was okay. Like it wasn't. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. We'll do back. We'll
No,
back and
you.
forth.
I heard. So this is what I heard. I didn't see it, but they said that it wasn't trying to. No. I read a bunch of reviews. They said that it wasn't trying to be something special. They took an idea. They had fun with it. They weren't trying to make the next ultimate horror film, and that's why it's okay. It wasn't trying to be something that it wasn't.
I feel like there's a lot of horror movies like that already, though.
No, but
yeah, just not trying.
You know what?
No. Very specifically. I don't know. Go ahead, Keenan.
Well, I was gonna say there was. I'm not sure because I haven't seen it, but I remember seeing a preview for what was it called? Before I Fall. It had like house and stage in it, but it had like a similar plot to Happy Death Day, kind of like the Groundhog Day thing, where it was like they were in a car accident or something, and it keeps happening. Is that what the plot was of that film? Or
That's what it seemed like. I don't know.
So that came out, they beat them, but I think Happy Death Day, they had like a 10-year production process where it just kept getting stalled over and over again. But it was fun, and I kind of went into it with like the lowest expectations. I just want to see it up, see what happens. And
it was a comedy, wasn't it? It was more funny than it was a. It wasn't supposed to be like a thriller. Yeah, it was supposed to be funny.
Okay.
It's a horror comedy.
Talking about Groundhog Day, did you guys see the Jake Gyllenhaal film where he's in like that like train?
Donnie Darko? Oh.
No.
Train?
Or maybe it's
Donnie Darko is also a Groundhog Day thing.
Okay.
I was gonna talk about. You guys see Edge of Tomorrow?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow was lit.
Edge of Tomorrow was incredible.
Edge of Tomorrow was lit.
Keenan.
I love Tom
What was it,
Cruise.
It was
Keenan?
called. What is it called? Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal.
He was
is
very
on
good.
A train, and he has to figure out this. It was like it's like replaying
Deja Vu?
scenario, kind of.
But there's some serious spoilers, but I think you guys would really enjoy that film.
But it's about like there's something with mind mapping.
It's not source code.
Yep,
Source
that's
code.
it. That's
Is it source code?
No.
Yeah.
91 on Rotten Tomatoes.
So it's like you have 8 minutes and you have to solve the who left this bomb on the train. Basically, that's the whole.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a Nicolas Cage movie like that? Do you guys ever see
Probably.
Next?
Yeah, Next, but that's awful, and we don't want to talk about that.
Just like a big,
It's a Nicolas Cage movie.
You know, Logic mentioned source code in his Under Pressure album.
Really?
Yeah, when he's talking in like one of the intercuts of like the interludes where it's like the story stuff, he's talking to some girl on a train and he's trying to remember the name of source code like we just were because he couldn't remember it.
Wait, really?
That's like it's like the bit.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it's really.
Talking about Coffee Guy, what do you think about Edge of Tomorrow?
I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't?
That was another Groundhog's Day. Right.
Yeah, I love
that a
it.
lot.
As far as movies that are like Groundhog's Day, I've seen Groundhog's Day, and that's it. I think.
No, I'm sure there's more. You just don't realize it.
I think
Like what?
I don't know what you've seen.
I think Emily Blunt's my favorite actress of all time. She
Let's
is
not
an
get crazy.
amazing actress.
I told you a while ago. I finally watched Arrival.
What'd you think?
Let's agree.
Yeah,
Let's
that was
agree.
good. That was
It was
good.
Oh,
fun.
Keenan, you like Arrival?
Yeah, that was good.
Man, this is treaded water too.
Yep.
So
sure
now that you
is.
now
I
that you
just saw it like
now,
2 days ago.
Wait,
Oh,
tell me
really?
what you guys thought because I harp up this movie so much.
Welcome
think
to
it was
the
a little
Arrival
short.
podcast.
Huh?
I thought it was a little short, which made it feel a little rushed to me.
Really?
But otherwise, I had a really good time. It was a good movie. It
What do you think about the end?
was good. It made sense to me. I thought it was fun.
It wasn't a twist, but it was a nice.
No, I kind of liked it because it sort of gave you enough to figure it out on your own, but it didn't feel like
exactly.
you were cheating it.
Yes.
It just felt like
There
you've
wasn't
earned
a
it.
voiceover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, Keenan, what do you think about Arrival?
No, I thought it was good, but you know when they first go in to see the alien. Sorry, I thought it was good, but you know when they first go in to see the aliens. when they do
Spoilers.
It's
Stop.
okay. It's
Stop.
okay.
That's it.
Stop.
No, that's
true,
not
that's true.
spoilers.
Yeah, the movie's really about UPS. No, but yeah,
That's actually really funny.
when they do the thing, where they open their hand, they shoot out like the non-linear like pattern.
Yeah.
Like they do it like 50 times. They're like, okay, we'll be back tomorrow, and you're thinking like like they're like, damn, that like these. It's gonna be the same thing like every day. Sorry, almost
No, you're good.
But But
Yeah,
I just found that funny. Yeah. But it was good. It was good.
Some good twists in that film.
No. Yeah, I hated it.
Did you see it?
No.
Has anybody watched Sicario yet?
No.
That one, no, I haven't seen that
No one
yet.
cares.
It's another Emily Blunt movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
She's Girl on a Train. That was trash.
Keenan, what inspired you to become an animator?
Okay. Yeah, I saw that on the syllabus.
You have 2 minutes.
On the syllabus.
No, I kind of.
Are you taking notes?
You have 2 minutes.
I just really just enjoyed designing, characters, and you have to bring them to life somehow. So.
Was there like a movie that you saw that was animated? You're like, I want to do that.
Not really.
Really?
I just watch like a ton of animated like shows and a lot of movies I wasn't supposed to watch when I was younger.
Well, I like how you said you had a desire to bring them to life. Like, I think we've created characters before, but I've never felt like I need to bring this to life. I have to put this on
Yeah, it sounds
paper
terrifying.
or, well, so I think that's kind of cool.
Thank you. Yeah. The other things I left out was my extra work.
We might have to save that for the next segment.
Let's go to a break.
Oh, yeah,
then.
yeah.
I was wondering what that meant because it just says extra. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm so extra.
We'll be right
That's a
back.
strike.
We'll be right back.
So we were talking about, because I mean, you're into animation.
By the way, I
right?
spelled it right.
I know you did.
Good, I'm glad.
He's just lying for the sake of like you guys can't see. So
you
of course
didn't spell
you
it
gotta
right.
say-
We spelled it right.
Yeah,
It
for
was a
you.
group project.
We held your hand through spelling Bruce Willis. I was hearing Lamont, who did a video for us a few episodes ago, for the Ryan Flynn episode. He told me that you were actually the guy who got him the gig to be an extra on Glass. Or he said that
Did
you
I get him a gig?
You didn't know.
How do you not know?
No, I didn't know. He didn't.
Yeah, he closed it. He was
damn.
filming. Yeah, and
cool.
he was like, that's why he couldn't be there. We asked him to film like the last episode, and he couldn't be there because he was filming for Glass.
Understandable.
And he was talking about how I guess he was at a restaurant that the cast was eating at, and he saw like Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson were like sitting there and just like chilling and eating, and he was like, that's so weird. And Samuel L. Jackson was vaping, just like sitting there vaping, and like Lamont was like, what? So yeah, I guess like he got it, and he's
That's cool.
an extra now.
I think you made Lamont famous.
You did. Congrats, Keenan.
Speaking of extras,
I'm glad somebody got it. That's cool though.
I wish.
I was like, I wish you would have told me.
you can talk to him later.
Or not, or never again. Whatever you want.
No.
So you started teasing about how you were an extra on something. Why don't you tell us more?
Oh yeah. I'm not. You guys are gonna rip me apart for this one, but no, I was in the Ghostbusters remake.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm going to rip you apart for having a lot more experience than me, yeah.
And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
That one's okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. So you're just an extra?
Yeah. So
Okay.
basically, the Halloween parade in the beginning
Of?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
No.
No.
You guys didn't see it?
No.
Nope.
I don't think
Oh,
so.
you just said it was out. You're like, oh, that's pretty good. No,
Well, it's better than what you
well,
started
yeah,
with.
yeah,
So
okay.
like anything is up from there.
All right. Well, basically, without you to submit like a costume because it was a Halloween parade. So I submitted I dressed up as Ron Burgundy from Anchorman with the
Nice.
street fight outfit. So I had like the table leg ready to beat somebody with it. But yeah, so I did that, and I'm like, for 1 second you can see me in the film. But
What is that process? Like, how do you become an extra? Do you apply and then
Yeah.
just,
Casting
pick your-
call.
They just okay.
with New York, it was Grant Wilfley casting, and I said oh yeah, I'm in the tri-state area, which is true. But they really, when they thought tri-state area, they were like, oh, you mean New York and New Jersey? And it's like, what?
1, 2.
That's not what that means.
Yeah.
Is there even a third state?
Yeah, it's
No.
Pennsylvania.
Oh no.
No, it's like it encompasses like a couple states.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
there's
New
a little-
Hampshire.
Tri-state.
Right.
Yeah, New Hampshire.
There's
Right.
3 states.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey.
Yeah, let's storm break this down for us.
With Ghostbusters though, it was like you had to go to an open call, and that was in Boston. So I went all the way down to Boston, and it was at the Boston Teachers Union. And then after that, I just went back to PA, and I wasn't hearing anything. So then I called them, and they're like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Because you're all the way in Pennsylvania, and we're here in Boston." I was like, "Yeah, of course I want to do this." So then they gave me 3 days, and it was the first day was the one that Dan Aykroyd did a cameo. So he's like a cab driver. And
Oh, spoilers.
yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry.
The beginning of the movie?
What?
Is that in the beginning of the movie?
No, it's like in the
Oh, really?
probably in the third act.
Oh, okay.
Get it together.
I
Pat.
probably should have watched this before talking about
No, you shouldn't have.
it. Okay.
But basically, I was on the one side of the street, and then the other, like later on, I was on the other side, and that part actually got into the film where like Kristen Wiig is talking to Dan Aykroyd, and you'll see somebody in the back behind Kristen Wiig for a second jump over a pile of garbage because I didn't know there's garbage there in that area. They're like, okay, go on the other side of the street, and there's like they have like these water trucks and like they're like people are like slipping around and stuff. But yeah, so that's my scene in Ghostbusters.
You jumped over trash.
Yeah, but then the second and third night, there were 6 of us that had to like run behind Melissa McCarthy, Kate McKinnon, and Leslie Jones, and that's the scene where they're shooting at the parade balloons. So that was pretty fun.
That's at least like a really cool story, though.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't get a really cool movie, but you did get a cool
What
story.
movies have you been an extra on, Chandler?
Yeah, shut up, Chandler.
He's gonna be in
I
Glass next week.
Can't,
Yeah,
what did you say?
Could be.
You never know; they might come.
You're
might come for
you're the
me.
lead actor in Glass, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm actually Bruce Willis. No, I should play the person that is Glass. I should play Glass that has glass bones and paper skin. That disease from SpongeBob.
He's one of the multiple personalities of the Horde. Right?
What?
You remember the Horde's multiple personalities? So
Well, yeah, but Glass is a...
What if one of them is just you? Like they change
Just
actors
normally.
and it's just you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would do it. Yeah, well, Glass talk aside, even though I wanted to be an extra and they weren't looking for anyone who looks like a sick person,
you know, with me is like
an unkept sick person.
Can we talk about the Tommy Wiseau movie? Oh, I'm sorry, Keenan.
No.
I was just gonna say that, like right now, I think what they wanted was military and cop looks. So it's like, with me, it's like I would look like I'm in the back of a police car. I wouldn't look like I'm the police officer. So that's why I don't think I'm gonna get into Glass.
I know an extra. I was just talking to another person who is an extra who played a cop for Glass, and he's like, well, actually, I wanted to try to get an interview with him, but he can't. Like nobody can talk about it for like a year.
Right.
So because I guess the trailer's coming out in a year, so they're not allowed to talk about it until then.
Yeah. Plus, they make you sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Yo, that would be dope if we get him to talk, man. That'd start some serious beef. We get
Storm
famous.
is all about
No,
bringing
He said
bring some
no.
beefs.
Yeah,
He said in a year he
I
will.
tweeted at William Osmond telling him I'm starting beef, and he did not respond at all.
He's
Completely
never
forgotten about us.
Never wants to talk to us again.
Yeah,
After that.
that's my one claim to fame.
Did you tweet it at him?
No, just talking to him.
Oh,
You're weird.
That's pretty
Speak
fair.
about the room or something.
Yeah, the room from Tommy Wiseau, which they're making a new film.
Like a biopic.
Yeah, of Tommy Wiseau's life, I guess, and how all that happened,
Yeah.
called Disaster Artist.
Yeah, I think it's based after a book called The Best Worst Movie Ever Made. That's starring James Franco.
I thought the book was also called Disaster Artist.
It could be. I could be wrong.
Wait, is this about the room?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know what we were talking about.
It's been
That's
years
good.
since I've seen.
Have you seen the trailer?
Original room.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know it was called Disaster Artist.
And
Hey,
Chandler was correct. It's called The Disaster Artist, the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, two people here have a computer, and one of them actually uses it for things.
What? I don't own a computer.
Okay. So I'm really psyched for Disaster Artist because I'm really interested to see how James Franco does as Tommy Wiseau. Because in the trailer, like, there's something. I mean, Tommy Wiseau is a very interesting character in his own right to begin with, and then so to have like someone like James Franco playing him as well adds like another layer.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I know people listening have no idea what we're talking about. They don't know what The Room is. Do you think you could break it down for us in like 30 seconds?
Yeah, well,
No.
The Room was a film that
Who's Tommy Wiseau?
Tommy Wiseau is a filmmaker who was aspiring to be, a big time director, actor, whatever, and he made a film, kind of like a student film, and it
With
was
a $10 million budget.
$6 million.
Oh,
budget.
okay.
From funds that people still do not know where they came from, which is up for discussion. But yeah, so he made a film with another friend of his, starring them both, and it is essentially.
Is it any good?
Well, it's lauded by critics as pretty much being allegedly one of the worst, if not the worst, film ever made. So
Like a real film.
Yeah, it was a real film.
Yeah, did it go to theaters?
No, I
it
don't
was,
think so.
Select theaters, because they used to.
Yeah.
Didn't they do a thing where they would throw spoons at the screen? Like, yeah, there was like,
What?
just like with Rocky Horror, like like they throw with Great Scott, they throw the toilet paper, or to a toast, and they throw actually a piece of toast. They actually throw spoons with the room, like that was like a thing.
But I think, do you think maybe that's because it's bad and they're trying to harm
no idea
whatever
why
is projecting the image onto the screen?
So now back to Disaster Artist. Tell us, like, where were you going with that? I just wanted to let the people know who, like, my mom. Love you, Mom.
It's all for you, Mom. It's Storm Mom.
Chandler has a great mom.
I have a great mom.
That's like 4 strikes.
From me?
Yeah.
Actually,
Why do you always go for 4 as if like
It's a
baseball
sicko.
players get 4 strikes
You
and
weren't
then it's
even
over?
like.
Are we playing baseball?
Are we playing? Yeah, no, that's soccer. But anyway,
What?
I think Disaster Artist is going to be really interesting. It's coming out what, December 1st? I don't know.
I don't know.
Really soon. I'm super excited because I just want to see. It's also, I kind of feel, I forget who I was talking to, but they were like, it's total nepotism that James Franco and Dave Franco are both starring in this film. I
want to guess. I want you to guess who else is in this film that James Franco often appears with.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
because I saw him in the trailer and I knew as soon as I saw him, I was like, that's Seth Rogen.
Actually, real quick,
It's not like he's in makeup. Yeah, it's just Seth Rogen.
No, he was kind of like, his face was slightly obscured. He was kind of like slouching in the chair with a beard and just like, had a hat on. So it was kind of, if you weren't as keen on the eye, you might.
Well, I saw a trailer where he was talking. So.
Oh, I literally didn't see that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that happened.
Yeah, I saw a thing where he was talking as well.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Storm is looking at a graph that was made in MS Paint, and it says time spent crying in class, and then it has like there was also a time spent eating mac and cheese. What are you doing?
Well spent.
I'd like to cite that the time spent crying in class exponentially skyrockets when you go to college, according to that graph.
So real quick, can you guys Tommy Wiseau was not born in America. Where do you guys think he was born?
Poland has been the consensus normally.
So they don't know?
No, there's a lot
Who
of
is this man?
There's a lot of debate because he has kept a lot of his personal information very private, and so he definitely immigrated here. He has said that if you go on his wiki page right now, there's very little information. His age isn't known. His real location where he was born really isn't fully known. It's just all speculation, mainly. There are, I think, Greg, his friend who he did the room with, said that at some point he had seen his immigration papers for the U.S. and saw some information that might be, this or that. But it's kind of usually understood that he's from Poland. He's an older individual. They've said that he may be born around the 1950s, but he says that he's born in like 68 or something like that, I think, somewhere around there, but they don't think that's really true. So yeah, he's a very interesting character because there's a lot of questions I had about him that from my research just weren't really answered, because he's just very mysterious, as a person.
That's a really weird thing today, where it's like to like hide where you came from. That's like it seems impossible.
I'm not sure he was.
If you were born like today. I mean, that
is he a secret agent?
He was able to obscure where he came from to the point where people can't find. Like, there's a pretty big following for The Room as like an underground thing. So I'm surprised no one could like figure it out.
Maybe he wasn't born today. Maybe he's from the future, right? Tommy Wiseau, time travel.
Donnie Darko was starring Tommy Wiseau.
He made
There's a wormhole in my chest.
He made a sitcom 2015.
Yeah.
It was called The Neighbors.
Have you guys watched it?
No idea.
I've never seen The Room.
You haven't actually seen The Room?
No, I want to watch it with people. I don't want to watch it by myself.
I've never watched The Room all the way through.
I've seen it multiple times all the way through because my friends are sadistic.
Oh, you know what? Actually, an addendum to what Storm said, that sitcom was not released. He filmed the pilot and then put a trailer on YouTube, and that was it.
It went up on Hulu Plus.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
He had a.
We can watch it.
He appeared as a slight cameo, maybe extra, in the movie Accepted with Jonah Hill and.
Is that that college movie?
Yeah, where they make the college or whatever.
Or he's just like the hot dog.
Yeah, so it's pretty funny. But yeah, no, it's just, I don't know. I'm really excited because I'm not sure how much will be really shed on, him as a person all that much. and what will be kind of for Hollywood entertainment and all that. But I'm just excited to see what they do with this, his real story as much as they think.
Is he
I'm so
on the
pumped.
film at all? Or?
Yeah, he has a scene because I was watching an interview with Greg, Dave Franco, James Franco, and Tommy Wiseau, and I guess they filmed a scene together. So
get
he's in the
this.
movie at some
So we can
point.
always ask him, like, is this right? Is this how it happened? He's like, yeah, that's how it happened.
Well, James Franco and Dave Franco worked very closely, at least, in communication with those two. James Franco was talking about how, I guess when Tommy Wiseau was filming The Room, he had someone film all the behind the scenes, and James Franco said there is literally more behind the scenes footage for that film than like one person can watch. And even in preparation for the film, he couldn't watch it all. Like he tried, so he was using like a lot of that material to pull from to try to get into the character and understand and everything like that, which I find very, very interesting. Yeah.
So a little thing about the show that he published, The Neighbors. I'm going to read you guys. Reviewing a screen of the pilot episode, the AV Club found the production values and acting quality of The Neighbors to be far worse than those of The Room.
What?
And noted the unexplained presence of women in bikinis in several scenes. Wiseau responded to the criticism by saying that the women were meant to be symbolic of sexually liberated women. What?
I think he's insane. I think it's a little.
Oh, get this too. The AV Club later reviewed the first 4 episodes and summed up the series as an unpleasant slog that actually gets lazier as it progresses, ultimately giving it an F grade.
Read the last part. I like that.
Wiseau himself believes that the 5th and 6th episodes are better than the first 4 and submitted the series for Emmy consideration.
Wow.
He's a bold man.
Oh, very. You got to respect that. Yeah. You got to respect that. So, we could transition from really bad things that make us feel not good and scared to what, Pat?
So we have to go to a break.
Right now?
Wow.
Soon.
What time is it? What time? What's the time? Hit me.
5:52.
Yeah, you would say that.
We're gonna go to a break.
It's actually 4:52, but
someone can't read time.
This clock is not put for.
Is that military time?
No, it's not how that works.
No.
All right, we'll be right back.
Right, we are back at the Poorly Edited Podcast. We know you're excited to hear from us once again.
That's not.
In a couple of minutes here, our good friend Josh Brennan is going to be leaving us. We just want to say thank you.
Sadly.
And he gives us a thumbs up. We love having Josh on. Arguably, in my opinion, the best guest we've had on the show.
Okay, well.
Probably our biggest fan at the very least.
Yeah.
I love Josh.
I don't even know how Josh finds the things that I post, but he always shares them and likes them.
Yep,
Such
everything.
I appreciate the support, but the stalking's getting weird.
No, it's not. It's really not. It's
so
comforting.
he's going to be heading out. Thanks once again, Josh Brennan, and we are going to go right back into. I think we were about to go into Stranger Things. Right?
No, we were. I was going a little different. I was going to have a stark contrast between a film like The Room, and I just saw Baby Driver last night. So I was thinking maybe
let's do it.
Touch on that. Because you've been telling me to watch this film for a very long time.
Yeah, let's go around and like say our. Let's pretend we're like on Rotten Tomatoes and like give our 1 minute thing and then give our percentage. That'd be pretty cool. What do you think?
Has everyone seen it?
Yeah.
I have not seen it.
Have you?
Okay, that's what I thought.
All right, so there's 3 people who've seen it. Keenan, give us our 1 minute official review.
Okay. Baby Driver was directed by Edgar Wright. He actually worked on Space and Shaun of the Dead, that whole trilogy, the Cornettos trilogy. And pretty much every film he does is like a puzzle. It's really well constructed. But yeah, this is actually the first one that you're not going to see Simon Pegg or Nick Frost in. But it's really, really, really good. That's all I can say. Like, I can just give it like 10 thumbs up.
So 100%.
Yeah.
If this is Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
Okay.
I don't have 10 thumbs, but if I did, I'd be seeing a doctor, I guess.
Oh man.
We all have 10 thumbs together.
That's true.
What makes a strike?
You don't need to know.
Okay.
Yeah, his criterion for that has not really been disclosed as of yet. Still guessing.
What's your 1 minute review?
Sean Pegg is not on this film writing or cameoing or anything like that, so it is a little different, I think, in tone from other things Edgar Wright has done, since Sean Pegg isn't there to lend his writing. But I think generally I really, really enjoyed the movie, although I think there's the movie in the first act, and especially in the first opening scenes and segments, really introduce a lot of super interesting concepts and things that I feel like didn't come to fruition as much as I wanted them to in the third act of the film. So there's like, not that it was bad, but just some wasted potential that it didn't capitalize on for the setup that it gave. I mean, there's so many interesting things they were doing with the music and the visuals, like just amazing visual storytelling in that first act. Like I cannot, that like it was just perfect. You know, I was just so enthralled by how that was all going. And I just felt like it kind of got lost in more of a Tarantino-esque kind of romp by the third act of it just being kind of a heist movie and playing out a pretty generally, we've seen it before, kind of heist movie plot in the third act, you know. I wanted to see a little more with, I don't know, just the things they set up in the first act. You know, I felt like they could have done, if they could have kept that consistent throughout the film, I think it would have been pretty amazing.
So what's your percentage?
My percentage is like 97.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's still an amazing film.
Quick rundown. Something they didn't touch on is that the soundtrack was made before the movie, and the scenes were actually built around the soundtrack. So like when they would close doors, open doors, what he would do when he was driving was all built around the soundtrack. So the soundtrack came first, and then they would have to act around the soundtrack, which was amazing. It was
fascinating.
Yeah, and it was, I haven't seen that before. I don't know if you guys have. And it was I mean, literally everything and most of the scenes was built around the music. And I'm like, I live off music, like I breathe air. So it was really refreshing to see someone put good music before acting and before scenes. And it was refreshing. And like you said, near the end, it got a little typical, but I was so attached to those characters.
I mean, except for the love interest, which was a little flat, I think.
Oh, you think so?
Not that she was flat. Like, I really enjoyed her on screen and everything, but I just feel like that connection that was going on between them was a little rushed. It was kind of like, why would she go with this person? Like, he just shot someone. Like, they just met a few days ago. It was just kind of like, what?
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, you can't really complain. It was very retro, kind of, that love interest.
Did you get real nervous when Jamie Foxx and all those guys go into the diner? And I don't know. I hope I'm not spoiling anything.
You can go ahead. It's not
and he sees the waitress, and you're like, oh man, he's gonna kill her. And it was like my nerves was like up at that point.
Oh yeah, the tension in those scenes was amazing because you were really scared for those characters that you cared a lot about.
Yeah, but you constantly thought he was gonna die.
Yeah. And
every scene.
In terms of editing, the way that was edited with the music and everything, like you were saying, it was just so amazing because, I mean, not that this is anywhere near the same level, but when I edit a lot, I edit in a way that's really involved with music, and the music usually inspires a video a lot of times and kind of how a video will play out in terms of tone and pacing and things like that. I'll a lot of the time settle on a song before I actually start editing because I know that it's going to influence so much. So to see like a film kind of made from that perspective that has music play such a heavy role in things, and to see what that would be like was so amazing. And it's not the first movie to do that, but it was just, to see that right now, in the style that it was just like, oh man, dude, I was on cloud 9 watching a lot of those scenes. They were just so beautiful.
And you know what else? I just want to say one last thing about Baby Driver, and not just Baby Driver, but just go through all of Edgar Wright's films, and he always repeats something, so it folds in on itself, the movie. A good example is, I hope this is okay to say, I don't want to ruin anything.
No, you're good.
Seen it. But when John Hamm comes over and he listens to the music with Baby?
Yeah.
And it's like a positive thing. And then at the end, you flip it and you do it like a negative. Like, it was kind of just like a final moments with Baby kind of thing he wanted to have. But you see things like that all the time, like Shaun of the Dead, it's the flowers, where he has them for his mom, and the mom gets them, so everything comes around in an Edgar Wright movie.
Shaun of the Dead's an amazing movie. Like, if you got
Did you say that was part of a trilogy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cornetto's.
It's not like an actual trilogy.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just they're like
Spiritual.
connected kind
Right.
of. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And actually, and he does that again with the, Shaun of the Dead. You have Shaun, who's kind of responsible, and then you have Ed by Nick Frost, and he's like super lazy. By the time you get to The World's End, Nick Frost is the responsible one, and Simon Pegg is the irresponsible one. So everything is kind of like mirroring each other.
That's interesting.
I want to go back and watch all these films now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're just so good. And now after seeing like Edgar Wright on Baby Driver, it makes me want to go back and also see Sean Pegg again, because I think it was weird not having him with an Edgar Wright film.
I'm saying Sean Pegg.
It's okay because it's
all right.
Because they're so like what? Oh yeah, Simon
Pegg.
Yeah, Sean Penn, who always works with Edgar Wright. I can't believe you guys were letting me do that this entire time. I did not realize I was saying that Simon Pegg.
Actually, I
didn't want to be rude or anything.
No, you should have been.
I wasn't sure like what it was because you were so confident. I fact checked it and I'm like, that's not right.
Wow.
It's like, we're gonna find Simon Pegg and we're gonna make him change his name.
Yeah, because I've said it so many times that that's the only option for him at this point.
Pretty much, yeah.
So Baby Driver aside, getting back more into your roots, Keenan.
Okay.
We were talking about, this is a really good excuse having you on to talk about something that I don't think we're going to get to talk about for a good reason ever, really, which is anime. Because, I mean, animation is your deal. And so I thought we could maybe talk about maybe a little of our anime enjoyments.
Okay.
And what? What, Pat?
Nothing.
Say it.
There's a beef.
Okay.
Spit it out, Pat.
All right, dude. You're just making all kinds of hand signals at me.
looking at me.
All right. Anyway.
So I watched a lot of Naruto, which I know Chandler hates.
I watched Naruto until I didn't get to see Shippuden because at the time, remember it was on Cartoon Network?
Yeah, that's why I watched it.
And then they moved to Disney XD and I didn't have Disney XD, Shippuden. Then they moved it back to Adult Swim. They got the rights back to it. And I just didn't catch up with it.
What are your opinions on Naruto, Chandler?
I'm not a huge fan.
What are you a fan of then?
I thought Death Note was amazing.
That I saw.
Loved Death Note. Thought that was so refreshing and awesome. I am also a big fan of Cowboy Bebop. And I used to watch Inuyasha a lot growing up. Full Metal Alchemist, though, was probably the first time since I was a kid that I got back into anime. Like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood was a show that I remember seeing. Well, actually, it was the original FMA when I was a kid, but a show that I remembered vaguely being cool when I was a kid, and then going back and watching when I got older, and it was just awesome. I really recommend Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood to anybody. Just generally, because Death Note is a little niche. Although if you just like good storytelling, I think you can enjoy even if you don't like anime. I think there's a lot of animes that people are afraid to get into anime because they don't want to be a weeb or something. Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of it can be a little, I would say, an intimidating genre almost because you feel like you're not going to understand a lot of things, or it's kind of a foreign art form or something like that. I mean, it is, but yeah, there's some anime that I think kind of transcend that and become more about, it's just no, this is an amazing thing to experience, and kind of regardless of the medium almost. That's
all that should really matter too.
You guys ever watch Yu Yu Hakusho?
No.
Oh my god, you guys gotta check it out.
Great Scott.
Okay. Yeah, throw the toilet paper. Okay. So Yu Yu Hakusho is basically this student who he gets run over by a car, and he's a spirit detective. So I guess I'm not gonna spoil anything later on, but he has a spirit gun where he just has he makes a gun symbol with his hand, and he just shoots his spirit energy out. And then along the way he comes across a couple other characters that have spiritual abilities, and there's a tournament. Like in Dragon Ball Z you have a tournament basically. And in Naruto also. And what else?
I said there's spirit. No, what's a
Spirited Away?
No, in Dragon Ball Z, what's the spirit move called?
Oh, what was it?
Oh, Kamehameha.
Oh, Spirit Bomb?
Is that it?
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Dragon Ball Z?
I'm over it.
Spirit Barrage from Diablo 3.
That's it. Yep, Spirit.
From the Witch Doctor.
Just play Grim Dawn. Remember that?
No, you guys should all get Diablo 3, and we should all play Diablo 3.
I thought you didn't like
Diablo 3.
I liked what? I like Diablo 3 a lot, dude. I have 5 maxed characters from seasonals.
You should play Path of Exile. It's free.
You know, the last video game I played was Halo 2 on Xbox. The original.
The last game you played.
I love Halo 2.
That's a pretty good game to be the last game you played.
That's a good place to leave it, you know?
Everything.
Yeah, to just be
back in
you know what?
2005. Yeah.
That's enough. I'm going to I'll leave it on a good note.
This is a great game. I'm leaving. That's it.
Yeah.
And then I went back to playing Pac-Man on a Game Boy.
That's a good game too.
So I basically de-evolved.
There's no shame there.
That happens a lot. But I mean, the way games are now. a lot of people are going back in time because things are just awful right
Do
now.
you guys ever play the Ghostbusters video game?
No.
No.
Did you?
No.
Okay, good.
I watched a playthrough, so that was fun.
Are you
Or a
gonna,
walkthrough, whatever you call it.
are you gonna? No, you're okay. Did
I don't know what it's called. I watched people play it on YouTube.
Storm was just playing Counter-Strike,
It's true.
CS:GO.
I really enjoy that game.
We're gonna try to. Storm suggested making a CS:GO team, competitive team with the 4 of us.
Competitive.
It's gonna be bad.
I think that would be really, really funny. Plus, we would enjoy it so much just like as friends. It would be
I
so
think
much
it'd
fun.
be really funny for you guys, especially Chandler, because I get really mad when people are playing games with me and they like don't do basic stuff.
Oh, I get mad too.
Yeah, no, but it's gonna be funny for you because I'm gonna be getting really mad, which I don't really.
So
it's fun.
Oh, to see the contrast,
Yeah,
like
the
shift in your. Okay.
a little background about me playing CS:GO is that I was so bad that I named myself after bad CS:GO players on YouTube, like Deluxe 4.
I have no idea.
Oh, I love Deluxe.
Yeah,
4.
he's absolute trash, and I was so bad that people hated me so much that I would name myself after bad CS:GO players.
That's hilarious.
And then I got good, and I would clutch like 1-on-3s because I'm a kick butt.
Sure. Dude.
And then I got bad again. My friend had $120 in
skins.
No, the skins for that crappy game, Overwatch, but worse. TF2.
Paladins? Oh.
He had TF. He had
I
TF.
disagree.
He had
That is
TF.
not a-
So he started with $5, and then he traded up to 120.
You did not just say TF2 was.
There was a time where TF2 was
I'm not
the
a fan
king,
of
but that was a
TF2.
long time ago.
Anyways,
I'm
he
not a fan.
traded up and he bought like a $50 skin, and he doesn't play anymore. So he's just sitting on like $100 worth of skins. And now I have a Griffin. That's it. That's all I had for that story. Who likes Overwatch here?
I love Overwatch.
Never played it.
I've heard of it, but I'm in the past with that. So
Still playing Halo 2,
yeah, not even playing that anymore. Pac-Man.
I still play Halo 2, actually.
Well, don't you do speed runs or something like that?
I
or is that just
speedrun-
Combat Evolved?
Yeah, I speedrun Combat Evolved. Because that's like the one I'm the best at, I would say, in terms of like the single player. It's the one I know the best. Although like Halo 2 is my favorite Halo game to like play casually, but I'm the best at CE.
On another note, I'm building a computer. More like I'm giving my money to my 3 friends who are on this podcast, and they're going to build it for me.
Yeah, you're very minimal.
Very interesting specifications.
Yeah.
I want to play Overwatch, and I want to do Premiere. $300.
$300 budget.
New contest from the Poorly Edited Podcast. Can you build Storm a good PC for virtually no money?
$300?
I mean,
send in your builds.
But I've seen people build computers for $10 that can run CS:GO.
Mail them at our. That's
It's
not
a
true.
little complicated.
Storm.
Mail them to our
I'm
PO
actually
box.
torn now because I have an old motherboard and CPU and stuff all set up from my previous computer that I left now in the dust. And I was originally just gonna slowly upgrade my current computer until I had enough parts to make a spare computer. I don't know what I would do with that, but I'd have it.
I have a GPU. My old GPU my friend has. I could probably get it back from him.
Oh, sorry.
It's a Radeon R7.
We could skeleton together.
We could.
A computer for Storm.
Wouldn't be the first time.
It would be a fun video trying to watch me. Like, you would give me the parts and you would, like, teach me how to do it.
Yeah, and then you'd
Funny
zap
until-
everything with
yeah,
static electricity.
Funny until you fry it.
Yeah.
So, do you think we could do that? Like,
Yeah.
just piece together as, like, not a gag, but...
Yeah, gag. Destroying
Like,
a
that,
computer.
I mean, have you ever seen the video where the guy starts with a red paperclip and builds up to a house?
Is that William Osmond?
He trades up. So there's a guy who did a TED Talk where he starts with a red paperclip, and without spending any money, he trades up on Craigslist and gets a house for free.
That's pretty cool.
Right?
I want to watch that TED Talk.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So how do we... I don't know the process of building a computer. Like, this is interesting to me. Like, break it down... No, I think there's people that are interested. Like, my mom's like... So I love my mom, and she's like, Storm, when I'm listening, I don't care when you guys are starting your show. And I was like, okay. And so she wants to learn stuff. So...
Ooh, wrong place for that.
Let's break down the components.
It's-
the CPU.
Well, the CPU, the central processing unit, is essentially the brains, the heart of the computer.
So we have one of those.
It will likely be the most expensive or second most expensive part.
True.
Well, we have one.
Well, I have one.
And what is it?
Okay,
Collective.
that's
It's
fine.
it's not like
Okay.
it's pretty old. It's
Okay.
like 4 years.
We'll just buy it then.
And then you have your GPU, your graphics processing unit, and that is going to also called a graphics card, video card, whatever. That's what is really dependent on the graphic capabilities you can reach for gaming usually. and processing, like with Premiere and editing suite and stuff.
And then probably there's the motherboard next, which kind of connects everything.
Yeah, the motherboard is the skeleton.
It's like how it's basic. So everything like attaches to the motherboard. They interact through the motherboard.
Yeah, but it's also important to have a good motherboard that has enough ports for upgrading if you want to do that. That is, just set up in a way that's going to be conducive to your build.
You need to make sure it's compatible with some of your other parts.
Yeah, that is compatible. It can handle everything you're putting into it and putting on it. And then you have a power supply unit, PSU, which is what's going to be the wiring of everything and connecting everything, and also putting the power through to everything. And that PSU has to be strong enough to withhold all of the power that all of your components combined are going to draw to run. So you can't, like in my case, I upgraded my video card over the summer. I forgot about calculating, the wattage that it was going to take added on to what I had. And my power supply unit that I had in my rig wasn't enough anymore when I upgraded, which I didn't think of. So then I had to go get a new power supply unit, which involved rewiring my entire computer.
Because there was a campfire in your room.
Yes, there was a campfire. Yeah,
His room's terrifying.
I because of the wattage being too much, I accidentally blew out my power strip before I realized what the problem was. Yeah, because the computer was passing post, but it was stressing because of the not enough wattage from the power supply. So it eventually blew out my very expensive battery backup surge protector that everything was plugged into. That was very cool. And I had to smash it because it was making an awful beeping sound that I couldn't stop any other way. I ripped the battery out and that did nothing. Like I ripped the wires, nothing was working. So I had to literally smash it into several mini pieces. It was great. But
then there's
the RAM.
You have the RAM, which
I understand RAM.
Okay, that's weird because that's the kind of
explain it then.
Yeah.
Storm, what does RAM do?
I think there's a couple different types of RAM. There's like DDR3
3 and 4.
And then there's DDR5.
Dance Dance Revolution 3 and 4.
DDR5 a thing?
Yeah.
Storm knows his stuff.
I actually researched building my own computer for a long time, so I get this stuff. I just don't get this stuff.
What is the point of the RAM though? What function does it operate?
It just helps the thing run.
Multitasking?
It's not like the engine, but if you have more RAM, it can power things faster, right?
No, well, a computer won't be able to really function without RAM.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like a car can't drive without the engine.
It's more like when I think of a brain, it's like when you think through things, it's like, so it's not like the memory. It's like you're currently processing something and understanding it.
And so the more you have,
it's temporary.
The faster it can do things like render stuff, like even search the web. It can just do things faster.
It's your random access memory, which is the name of a Daft Punk album. Yeah.
A good Daft Punk album.
Well, not my favorite, but I still really enjoy it. It was a different direction entirely.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
My dad just texted me and said, "Thank you for explaining the room." He didn't have any idea what we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Storm's dad.
Shout out to Storm's parents for being probably the most supportive parents about the show.
Probably.
My mom's really supportive. But, yeah, so, like, do we forget? Oh, your case, which is going to hold all of those things we just talked about, which in Patrick's case was not large enough for all the stuff he had. That's like not a very common mistake that really people I know make. That one's pretty simple. It's like, I have all this stuff. It needs to fit in the thing.
Normally when it's not big enough, it's because you didn't buy a case that's big enough for your graphics card. But
oh, really?
Yeah.
Graphics cards are the things that are the weirdest with like their size ranges.
They're enormous.
Yeah, they can be huge. They can be really wide. They can be longer. It's just annoying. I had the same problem with my upgrade GPU. It was just a hair small enough to not like bend my motherboard because of how it had to sit, on everything. You really have to watch out for that, because in that case you'd be either, well, you can't have that GPU, or you have to get a new motherboard to fit everything. So it's just very complicated. I don't think we missed anything though.
Yeah, we did.
What?
Storage. Like
your hard drive.
I know what that is.
Which has to store your operating system, and then
Whatever files you want.
How expensive are operating systems?
Very.
$100.
So,
roughly.
like, if I were to make a computer, we'd have to go out and buy an operating system.
No, and you don't even have to pirate it to get around that either. If you download, like, right for Microsoft, their installation media onto, like, a
Windows
flash
10.
drive, you can just pop it in there, and you don't have to pay for it.
Or you could.
You
put
have a
Linux
little-
So
on.
you can get me Windows 10 for free.
Yeah, and it's not even illegal.
It's not illegal, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because they want Windows 10 on all the computers.
Oh, wow.
They really put.
So-
It's not like they want that around for like years.
Oh yeah, it's the push.
Windows,
It's their
I like
platform.
Windows 10.
It's good.
I
Yeah.
like Windows 10. They totally got their stuff together after 8.
It feels like what 8 should have been.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
It's smooth. I get everything. Like, I actually like it more than Macs, and I was a Mac guy for a while.
I mean, oh, so you were wrong.
Yes.
Change to the light.
So you guys, I know how to make a computer. You know what you do first? So you buy a tower from somebody, and you take all the stuff out, and you leave in the stuff you can leave, right?
What?
So like you go out and buy a full computer.
You don't have to.
You know, but isn't
This is
it
not
cheaper
the
that
only
way?
method.
No, but that's like the cheap way.
No, it's not. I don't think so.
Keenan's saying yes.
No, I'm just nodding my head. I don't know. I'm not good at making computers, so.
So then what's
Not my thing.
what's the first process? What would we do?
Buying all the parts.
Finding
Well,
your
no,
parts.
no, research.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
research
so
first.
we can't just like connect all the puzzle pieces. We have to
No.
make sure they all connect together first, right?
Yeah.
And that they're going to be good enough for what you're doing. You have to you want to research, what are the capabilities of these different components, what are their limitations, and
Do we start with the motherboard?
wattage as well.
I think CPU maybe.
I think I did like CPU and GPU, and then I went from there.
I think that's good because motherboards there's not like a ton of diversity, is there?
When I was
You should
looking,
power
there was a
supply
lot.
last.
Isn't it really hard to make sure that the motherboard fits?
What do you mean?
Like
In the
if-
computer? No, that was just me being stupid.
Yeah.
No. Like I was being serious. Like, isn't there so much space on that area where you have to make sure the motherboard? Not the motherboard. What's the little thing you put in there? It's like a square. Is that
That's
the
the
CPU?
CPU.
Processor.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Aren't those really specific?
You have to make sure your CPU and your motherboard are compatible,
That's
Yeah.
and it's pretty easy to figure out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is something CPU?
Oh.
Let's say we're going out to buy a CPU that's inexpensive yet good. What would we look up?
I mean, I just got a Ryzen 5 1600.
Yeah, but how much was
Doing
that?
pretty well. It was like 200.
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
You could look at like an i6,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, or an
I have an
i5.
i5, and it's great.
Yeah.
how much is that?
It's a good i5. It was just under 200.
Jeez, we're not going to be able
So
to.
Stone,
do
I was just thinking, why don't we just wait till Black Friday
I'm sad.
for like buying a computer?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's like 2 weeks away.
It is.
so
It's
if-
so weird.
Well,
If
we
you can
got to prep
scrounge-
for that.
If
We
you
got to
can
prep for
scrounge
that.
together $600, you'll be shocked at what you can get for 600.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Shocked.
so this is what I'm thinking. I get a
No.
tower and like a desktop, and then if I'll get a cheap laptop that I can do everything else on. So I don't need to have the laptop to do like editing and gaming and stuff. That's just for simple stuff, right? What do you think about that idea? Because I need a laptop to do things when I'm out.
What stuff
But-
do you want to do on the laptop? Just like
A laptop is
internet
going to be
access?
more expensive. Literally
Yeah.
the same parts on a laptop
Just
to
smaller?
a desktop is the laptop's going to be more expensive, even with the exact same parts as a desktop.
Storm, do you just want like internet access?
I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. I was like, if I get a laptop,
'Cause
I can do everything everywhere. But do I really need to do everything everywhere?
You don't.
That's what I was thinking.
Like I right now I have my setup is I have like a nice gaming PC and then I have a Chromebook and that's fine. Like,
Does it work?
Oh, Chromebooks are awful.
No, they're not necessarily.
For their price, they're not terrible.
They're not
It-
bad.
You literally can't do anything on
That's-
I
them.
can access Google Docs.
Yeah.
I can do all my schoolwork, which is mainly what I wanted one for.
Well,
Okay.
then that's
So let's like go ahead with that plan.
okay.
I'm excited, even though none of this is going to come to fruition.
Should be
True.
excited.
That's true. Yeah,
No,
we never follow
it's,
through.
It's actually pretty fun building
It
a
is.
computer.
All right.
Tommy
Well, you
Wiseau
guys are
can
actually-
make a movie. You guys can make a computer.
Can we make a Tommy
I get-
Wiseau?
yeah,
If,
you're
if
right.
you can,
Yes, let's make a Tommy Wiseau themed computer. I'll make graphics and paint them on.
please.
Let's
Tommy
do it.
Wiseau would be like, first you get cardboard box and you cut hole in it, and then you put the computer.
Can we talk about how Tommy Wiseau did? Not only did he do digital, he did film at the same time. You remember you were telling me about that?
Yeah, he did digital. Yeah.
And film.
Oh yeah.
He put them on top of each other.
Oh,
Explain why that's a bad idea.
No, wasn't he like? What was his justification for that? I can't remember.
He didn't know what they meant, so he just bought both.
Oh yeah.
And so, if you're listening, film's really expensive. It's really expensive, right?
Yeah, and there's no reason to do both. Like you pick one. You always pick one. Because I mean, if you're doing film, it's for the aesthetic, it's a lot more of a hassle, but it's for the aesthetic of what film brings. But cost effectiveness and luxury, you go for digital all the time.
Yeah, so Tommy Wiseau was an idiot.
Or a genius.
Let's watch The Room. I want to watch The Room with you guys.
We'll do
Bring
it.
some spoons.
When are we going to do trivia? Let's do trivia.
Dude,
No, we don't have time. I don't think
Well, I don't,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think the
also-
time matters
The
anymore.
time doesn't matter
Isn't
at
it
this point.
5:17?
It's actually not on the syllabus.
Yeah, let's
so
do it.
I don't
Let's
think
do
we
like
can
10
it.
minutes.
it's actually pretty quick this week.
All right, let's do it.
Lightning.
What do you say is lightning?
Oh boy.
I'm gonna say a character. And
Get
you
it?
tell
My
me the
name's
voice
Storm.
actor.
Character, name the voice actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's the buzzer?
I heard Chandler
just say
cheating on this
first.
one in the lab.
So we just cut each other
No,
off.
because
Yeah.
I already no.
You already knew this one?
No, I don't
final.
think I'll know.
No, we're good. We're good. This first one's really easy. All right, the Joker.
Mark Hamill.
Ah.
Chandler got it. Should I keep
Yeah.
score probably?
No idea.
What are you looking for?
Keeping score. I have to get a pencil.
Oh wow, I really thought this through. Go on.
Arbiter. From Halo, you played this.
Oh,
Keith
yeah, but I
David.
don't know the character.
Keith, you already. Why did you say it?
What?
You said Keith David.
No,
Didn't
he
you?
didn't.
Say that.
No, he didn't.
Oh, it's Keith David.
You
It
read
is
his
Keith
mind.
David. You're right.
Yeah. I thought you said Keith David.
No, I said the what?
No, yeah, it's Keith David. Yeah.
All right. Bender from Futurama. Does anyone know this?
John something, right?
John D'Amigo.
Yep. I think it's
DiMaggio.
DiMaggio.
Well, no, I've never heard his name actually pronounced.
It's DiMaggio.
I'm
I don't
gonna
know.
give that one.
You know,
That's
like
fine.
Joe, like
He's also Jake from Adventure Time.
He is. Yes, he is.
That was my other hint. If no
And
one got
Marcus
that.
Phoenix and Gears of War.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Peter Griffin.
Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, Keenan got that one. Bugs Bunny.
I actually don't know that.
Really?
Nope.
Storm, are you even paying attention?
I have no idea.
Bugs Bunny.
I
Come on.
don't know.
That's the rabbit.
Why is?
Shut up.
He also plays the duck. Same
Really?
guy. He did like everything for Looney Tunes.
Didn't he do that ad spot here?
No, that's Goofy.
Oh.
That's Disney.
Yeah, that's not Bugs Bunny.
No, this is.
and that's
you
not
guys
even
really
the
don't know?
same.
The Man of 1,000 Voices.
Bugs Bunny
Who
isn't
is he?
Disney.
Mel Blanc.
Oh.
I don't know who that
All
is.
right, Woody in Toy Story.
Tom Hanks.
I knew that one.
Goku.
Oh no.
Oh, man.
Nope.
Does anyone know this? I didn't know this. All right, it's Sean Schemmel.
I don't know who that is.
Schemmel.
All right, Shrek.
Mike Myers.
Wow, dude. Oh, dude.
man.
Oh, my brain is just a second slower than yours on this right now.
There's two more, so chance to get both these right to tie it.
Ooh.
Emmett from the Lego Movie.
Chris
Pratt.
Oh, I think Chandler got that.
No, that was.
No,
that was
really?
Keenan.
That wasn't. Yeah, that was.
I think the
other one.
cans are
Last
messing
one,
up.
Nathan Drake.
Nolan North.
Yeah. All right, so
Keenan
Keenan's a
won.
winner.
Nice, dude. That was
Do you
really
have a
good.
prize?
That was real. I'm really glad someone else was like, on me.
Pat's looking around the room for something to give to Keenan.
It's true.
You're
I totally
taking
didn't think
home
this through.
I'm taking
this
the
tape
sound
deck.
board.
And we never saw him again.
You won this entire studio.
All right, are we wrapping this up?
That
or
was
what?
that was a strike.
Anyone else?
Are we gonna outro with our awesome song?
All right.
Well, wait.
Whoa, whoa.
What are we all? What is everybody? Does anyone have anything else to say? Plug?
If you're listening, check out the YouTube page, actually, to check out our old stuff, because you can re-listen and re-watch, thanks to Josh Brennan and some other friends, every time we do this.
Yeah, you could click a pen and drop it several times while Coffee Guy's talking
I
also.
wish he was still within arm's reach so I could take things out of his hands.
Yeah.
I would really appreciate if you watch my YouTube channel. I don't know why.
No.
I just want someone to watch it today.
No,
I'm just
people
like,
I
watch
plugged
it.
it on the Facebook page for you.
You know,
Yeah.
my grandmother watched your videos.
Stop.
No, she actually did. She watched your videos and she was like, I don't
get it.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know. That was what she said. So, hey, you got that going for you.
All
Any
right.
feedback's
I
good
told her, I was like,
feedback,
that's the point. I tried to defend you.
Quick plugs, everybody. We have Josh Brennan at Tired Pants
Tired
Pants on YouTube. Who
and
else do we
Twitter.
have?
Madison Hughes
Madison
on
Hughes.
SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And YouTube.
Caddy McAuliffe at Rebellious One Photo on Instagram.
No, Rebellious One _
Yes.
something.
Photo.
Yeah, I forgot the
Rebellious
underscore.
One _ photo. Who else do we have? We have
Daniel Chua.
Daniel.
That's the one.
Writing an
And
article.
Do we have anything for him?
No.
DNLC Chua. I don't know. God.
Whatever.
Sly Elliott on YouTube and Twitch and everything. Like, I'm trying to stream actually again, maybe.
How do you have time?
I don't. I stay up way too late.
Who else have we had on this show?
Ryan Flynn, Tavertine on Bandcamp, and Mungo on Bandcamp.
Okay. William Osmond.
William Osmond.
He's our man. He's gonna take us to fame.
Patrick is squirming in his seat at how overtime we are right now. He is just on edge.
He's been sweating for half an hour.
Walk around, honestly.
What?
I've just been stuck in this chair for so long.
Yeah.
I'll walk around.
I think that's it.
That's it.
Love you guys.
Shout out to Connor Hudak. He's listened to every single episode with every single minute.
There's a lot of people who have actually done that, believe it or not. I don't know why. You guys need to chill out. But thank you guys so much for listening and being there and supporting us through the time changes and all this crazy stuff that's going on. But we really appreciate it. Check out the Patreon. Check out all that other stuff. And we love you guys. Thanks for chilling.
I love this outro beat so much, man.
See you guys. Listen to Madison Hughes.
Goodbye.
Bye.